Hi, my name is Jonas Brunschwig. I come from the Italian part of Switzerland. I grew up off the grid in the forest in a small valley outside of Lugano. At the age of 20, I left Switzerland for the first time and moved to Cairo in Egypt to study Arabic for half a year. And when I came back, I went to the University of Zurich, which I did not like very much, so I dropped out. And knowing that I wanted to live abroad, I flipped a coin in 2007 between Cape Town and Buenos Aires, and I moved to Argentina for 3 years. In Argentina, I found love and met my American ex-wife, spent 3 years there as a student, and then in 2010 we moved to Boston, which has been my home until a few months ago. In Boston, I finished my undergraduate studies in international relations, and then I discovered MIT, which became one of my two intellectual homes, the other being Swissnex. I flirted with Swissnex in Boston for a few years until I was recruited in 2015, and I was part of the team for the past 6 years. During that time, I also was a graduate student at MIT, where I researched understanding and accelerating innovation-driven ecosystems in sub-Saharan Africa, and then returned to Swissnex full-time. And when the opportunity to come to India opened up last year, without hesitation, I applied, and I am delighted to be here now. I have perceived it as a very strong Swissnex with a remarkable commitment from the team members, who often stay for 5 to 10 years, which is something quite remarkable and rather the exception in my American experience. I have also found it a very dynamic Swissnex with some very coherent priorities and programming around 4 focus areas that made it clearly understandable to an outsider like myself what Swissnex in India is about and how it fulfills its mission. My vision for the next 4 years for Swissnex in India is to continue to positively grow the Indo-Swiss partnership in education, research, and innovation, with a mindset of transformation needed to meet the challenges of our time, guided by the pursuit of inclusive prosperity, urgent progress, and a vibrant exchange. Getting to spend 4 years in a young and vibrant city like Bangalore is very appealing, and I've always felt at home in places that marry the intellectual pursuit of knowledge with its entrepreneurial application. I'm not a big fan of predictions, which inevitably tend to be wrong. I envision a collaboration which is meaningful, exciting, and rich in growth for us all. That being said, we will take advantage of the creative freedom that we have at Swissnex to experiment with various forms of collaboration. I'm definitely a cat person. In my first years in Boston, I fostered nearly 20 cats with my ex-wife, and for many years we had 3 cats, one of which was deaf and used to go on walks on a leash outside, believe it or not. Favorite Indian food is always going to be my next meal, although I did have some delicious dosas. The first thing on my India bucket list might be to find where the sailors and wooden boat builders are at. So perhaps a really challenging bucket list item that I'm in the wrong city for. I am inspired by brilliant people who dedicate their lives to solving very challenging problems, and in this line of work I have the good fortune of collaborating with them more often than not. Favorite cake flavor? I have a sweet tooth, so I'm gonna have to give you more than one. Swedish princess torta, Swedish chocolate cake, my grandma's recipe, and the financier cake. Scares me. Physical pain, a very low threshold for it. Also not very fond of snakes. Keyword to survive at Swissnex in India, Otabeku. Well, the Bangalore airport is definitely outside of Bangalore. Ja Simran, Jaji le abni zindagi. Mic drop.